Welcome to We Are Soccer. Today, I'm lucky to have central midfielder Maxi Rodriguez from Detroit City with me. Maxi, how you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. I gotta say, I've been talking to a few people, and you are one of the players on the team that have kind of stood out to us. There's one or two players who we used to play for Detroit City, former players, and we keep an eye on the team. And this season, especially, you're the standout player in some of our eyes. The way you control the game. So I just kind of want to get right off the bat and let you know that there's a lot of people watching and a lot of people big fans of you and the way you play the game. So we're happy to have you in the city and on the team, man.
Wow, no, that's great. I'm happy to be here. I've enjoyed every second of it, so I really appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, you're originally from San Antonio, correct?
Yes, San Antonio.
And then you went to college down at North Carolina, Charlotte, right?
Yes, 4 years in Charlotte. Enjoyed
Nice.
every minute of that as well.
Do you miss home, San Antonio, and do you miss Charlotte a little bit? Because Detroit's a little bit different from those areas.
Yeah, Detroit's definitely a little different, but it definitely has grown on me so much. I've honestly grown to love Detroit. I know it doesn't get the best reputation at times, but to be honest, from the moment I've got here, I've enjoyed every second of it. It's got a special place in my heart now and for the rest of my life for sure. But definitely different than San Antonio, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's a
And
different view for sure. It's a different city for sure. Let me ask you a question. How did the relationship between yourself and Detroit City come about? Because I know you've only been with the club since March, I believe. How'd that come about?
to be honest, I was just hanging out with friends back home, and I received a phone call from Trevor. I guess my agent had reached out to him. I had spent the whole year without a club. So to be honest, I didn't know if I would ever play again.
Hmm.
So I kind of found out that Trevor was interested. He said, "Hey, come down to Detroit, check it out, see if you like it, train with us," and then kind of on a trial basis, and got here. Thankfully, did well, and then everything kind of figured itself out from there.
That's a crazy story, to be honest. I mean, for someone who didn't play soccer or wasn't attached to a club for the year, and came and kind of did a trial, and now all of a sudden you guys have played 11 games and you've started all 11 games. You've been man of the match twice, and you've also been in the NISA team of the week once. So it sounds like you've really kind of got your nose down and just started working and getting to it, because it's really paying off from what I can see, right?
Yeah, now there was a lot of obviously COVID affected everyone, but every day I kind of woke up and understood that there's no one watching, but I had to do that dirty work. And if I wanted to be back at where I want to be and where I think I should be, then obviously it's not going to be handed to me. So I got to continue to work. So I went out to the fields, worked out probably 2-3 times a day, had really nothing else to do, and was just hoping for an opportunity. And then Trevor gave me one. So ever since then, told myself that I was going to work every day for that, and not take it for granted.
Well, that's great, man. That's awesome to see. The hard work's really paying off. And what's it like kind of playing under Trevor James? He's kind of a legend. The people he's worked with, he's coached with, and played for. How is it with the coach? He's got such a big name in the game.
Yeah, Trevor, since the moment I met him, I understood that he had a great background. But I mean, when he name drops David Beckham or mentions stories of when he was at Chelsea or Barca, it's just like, okay, you really understand the weight behind the name. But he's honestly such a humble person, and so easy to talk to, that it makes everything so much easier. He's put trust in me, and as a player, that's all you can really ask for. So yeah, so he's put that trust in me, and as a player, it gives you so much confidence, and he gives you freedom, but at the same time gives you that, makes you understand what your role is within that team. So I think he's a perfect manager. and when it comes to professional football, managing players is pretty important. So he's been amazing on kind of my comeback to football. So
Oh,
it's been great.
awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, it's I will kind of echo those sentiments. He's put a lot of trust in you because you're the center midfielder. You're the one that when the defense is knocking the ball around, you're the one who comes back, gets the ball with his back to goal in your third of the field, turns and then distributes. So that's a big role to play. And I didn't realize what kind of a role that was until I got later into my career, that central midfielder is the connector to everything. So yeah, he's definitely put a big, a lot of trust in you. So it's great to see. And man, you're really carrying that forward, which you're going to be doing this weekend. You play Chattanooga for the first time in 3 weeks. You guys have a game finally. I'm sure you guys are sick of practicing against each other and scrimmaging, and it's about time to play a game now, right? You guys are probably itching to go.
No, yeah, 100%. I think at first we were kind of like, okay, we get a couple of weeks off. Guys were a little bit banged up. We get a little bit of rest, but after a week, you're like, okay, this is enough. We've been kind of getting after each other, guys getting into it a little bit, which is natural. But yeah, to have someone else, not our teammate, going against us and being able to battle against someone else is definitely going to be nice. But yeah, we're excited. Been funny when you have something in 2 weeks, you're like, oh, it's in 2 weeks. That eventually comes around. It's Friday night. You got the game tomorrow, or you'll be showing this tomorrow. So a game today, but we're just ready to fight. And as soon as we trained today, it was pretty rainy out, and supposedly tomorrow's going to be the same. But what's better than a Saturday night raining at Keyworth, ready to win a trophy? So
exactly,
nothing better.
And the fans will be in full roar. Rain or shine, those fans, the Detroit City FC and the Northern Guard fans are out there. Man, they just have you played in front of fans like that before? Have you ever seen anything like that before?
So at San Antonio, we had a close stadium and stuff like that. It was a special place just because I'm from there. It was my first professional club, but to be honest, there's nothing like Keyworth and what the Northern Garden fans are like. It's honestly unreal. My first opportunity obviously was not full capacity or not even close to that. So to see the amount of fans that there were, and they said it was like 25%, I was like, this is 25%. And then obviously it's only getting bigger and bigger from there. And you're like, wow, this is unreal. Like in the situation, you're kind of thinking of the game, but then you look back and I see photos or the game ends and they're still there cheering, smoke going. It gives me chills just thinking about it now. It's unreal.
Well, you guys are going to play this weekend against Chattanooga and then possibly against Chattanooga next weekend on Saturday, July 3rd. You guys are in the NISA championship game at Keyworth Stadium. I know I'm going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's got to be strange to think that you may play against the same team twice within the span of 7 days. So have you guys spoken about that, or is that just not something you're worried about? You're just going to go out there, play your game, and let everybody else worry about you?
Yeah, I think all our eyes are definitely on just tomorrow night. Obviously, Monday, Tuesday, after Saturday's game, we can start to think, okay, what happens if we play this team? I know for me growing up, it was always said when you were playing in a tournament, the hardest thing to do is beat the same team twice. So obviously that goes into your head. But last time we played LA, it was a 3-0 win, but obviously we still think they're a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of just eyes on Saturday, tomorrow, and then kind of figure out what happens Wednesday. Right. I know it's a tough schedule for both teams just because it's a Wednesday, Saturday. So yeah, kind of just eyes on tomorrow and then figure out everything else as it unfolds.
Yeah, that's probably the right mindset, right? Just eyes on the next game here, and after that you'll deal with what comes at you, right?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So obviously, we're in the middle of the summer here. You guys are playing. There's a lot of soccer here in Detroit, but there's also some other big tournaments in the world. We've got the Euros, Euro 2020 over there in Europe, and then we've got Copa America down in South America that's being played. Have you been able to watch a lot of those games? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so we have breakfast around 9 o'clock or around 9:30 at the field house. So as a team, we're able to kind of watch the first half of those games. And then when we come in for lunch, usually the second half of that game, And then 3 o'clock, obviously, we're on our own. But
Mhm.
it's been good. It's always great to watch soccer and watch it at such a high level with such high level talent. It's just, I think it's always good. And especially if you watch it as a team. And obviously, we have guys from different countries and guys supporting different different countries. So that's always great. Competitive. I know we've been going for Hungary quite a bit just for Benny and Bosch. So we get pretty involved when they were playing Portugal. We were screaming up on the edge of our seats, just hoping they would score. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's been great. And then obviously watching the GOAT of Messi is always unbelievable. I know me, Pato, get together with Matt and Kevin in their apartment to watch those games, and just to watch that play is a blessing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to say that, that we're able to watch one of the greatest players. In my opinion, the greatest player to ever grace the field is Messi. He is head and shoulders above anybody who's ever stepped on a field. And to think that he's, 5'6", 150 pounds, it's crazy. He's amazing. It brings me back to what we were talking about earlier with you on the field. The best soccer player isn't the biggest, he's not the quickest, but he's the smartest. It's the guy who can think the game. And David Dwayhe and I were watching one of the games, and we were watching you play, and we were like, watch him. Maxi never sprints. He doesn't need to sprint. He finds places, he finds little holes to get the ball, turns with it, and knocks it off. And when you watch Messi, and I am comparing you to Messi a little bit, Messi doesn't need to sprint a lot of the time. He kind of walks around, saunters, and all of a sudden you're like, how did he get so wide open? How did the other team forget about the best player in the world? And he finds a way to get the ball. So yeah, it's you're right. It's fun to think that we're in this period of time in life, and we're able to watch the best player in the world, Messi play, who just turned 34 yesterday, actually.
Yeah, I have this argument with a lot because he was a big Ronaldo guy and Messi, so we get an argument and we talk about who's the GOAT, who's not the GOAT. But no, it's funny. But yeah, from an early age, I learned that I wasn't gonna be the quickest, I wasn't gonna be the fastest. But my dad kind of always told me to always be thinking, try to be the smartest guy on the field. And that I think about that at the beginning of every game. I don't think, okay, because kind of you can always go into a game saying, I'm going to work my tail off. I'm always going to be a guy that's trying to get second balls, or I'm trying to do whatever it takes to help the team. But kind of that next level is thinking ahead, thinking what's going to happen, or kind of being the person that someone can rely on, trying to think what the game needs and what it doesn't need. As a holding mid, it's really important. Does the game need to be slowed down? Do we need to kind of pick up the tempo? Are we losing? Are we winning? Things like that are super important.
See, that's right there what separates the good players. People who can think about the flow of a game and when it needs to slow down within the team and the structure, right? Everybody wants to get on the field, get the ball, and go as quick as they can, but that's not always going to win you games. And you could have no energy left within 20 minutes if you do that. So that's a great piece of advice your dad passed along to you, which kind of leads me into one of my last questions for you. We have a lot of viewers who are younger. We have 9, 10, 11-year-old boys and girls who love to watch these little interviews. What I always ask the people I interview, what's one piece of advice you want to pass along to that 10-year-old who aspires to be in your shoes one day? What's one piece of advice you can give them that can help them get there?
Something I live by is nothing is given, everything is earned. So if you want it bad enough, then you can achieve it, but it's not going to be easy. It takes hard work, and it's going to take dedication, and it's every day. There's going to be moments where, wow, you feel like you're on top of the world, and that highs feel really high, and then there's going to be moments where you feel really low, and the lows get super low. But an important coach in my life told me that the guys that can stay steady with their eyes focused on what they want to do, those are the guys that are going to make it through. Because I've been around plenty of players that are some of those most talented players I've ever played with, but they don't end up getting to where they want because they lost focus, or they didn't continue to work hard, or find that grind in a sense. So that grind is important, and the more that you embrace that grind, the farther you'll go.
Awesome. Yeah, I 100% agree. That is a great piece of advice for the kids. Well, Maxi, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're playing this weekend. I know you got stuff to do. So I want to say thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to talk to you and get you on We Are Soccer here. And hopefully one day we'll be able to get you back again or into the live studio to be on one of the live shows. And again, really appreciate you spending the time with us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me, and I'm open to being back on whenever.
Awesome. Really appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.